Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we will create a static e-commerce site using React and Tailwind CSS. As you can see, navbar on top with search and icons on right side. Then we scroll down and see there are two buttons in the banner, each having different effects. As you can see, background icons effect as well. Then we scroll down to season collection. As we can see, three different seasons. When we click see more, it shows more seasons. Then we scroll down to our bestseller. There are three cards, each having different text and different prices. Then there comes the second banner of 50% discount. Then our product. When we click on anything, it shows the different products. Then love and bloom collections, each having different text, different icons. Then what they say, a testimonial section where there are three cards with the rate and some descriptions. Then there comes the footer section. As you can see, it will require @ here. Then it also contains React scroll for smooth scrolling. So let's get started. Open VS Code, go to Chrome, type white React. Click on the first link, scroll down, copy this link and copy this text and paste it in your terminal. Give project name e-commerce. Package name will be same. Select React, select variant JavaScript. Type cd e-commerce. Press enter, copy this command and paste it in your terminal. It will install the node packages. Till the time they are installing, let's install Tailwind CSS. Go to Chrome, type Tailwind CSS, go to framework guide, select use white, copy this command and paste it in your terminal. Copy this second command and go to white.config.js file and paste it here. Now copy this too and paste it here. Then copy this command. Go to, we don't need app.css, delete it. Control A and paste it here. Copy this h1 tag. Go to app.js, remove this whole code, type snippet RAFCE and paste the code here. Change class to class name and type npm run dev to start our server. As you can see, the Tailwind CSS is successfully installed. Now go to index.html, give title e-commerce. Go to main.jsx, remove the strict mode. Now, as you can see, the assets file here, you can download the assets from the link given below. So now let's create our first folder, components. In this folder, create our first file, that is navbar.jsx. Type the snippet RAFCE. Let's import navbar to app component. Type div navbar and close it. Let's give div a class name app container. Let's go to Navbar. Let's remove this code and type div nav class name with full flex justify between item center. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 6. For medium screen, padding will from x-axis will be 2. For larger screen, padding from x-axis will be 6. Padding from y-axis will be 4. Shadow MD. BG gradient to R. From pink 500 to red 500. Position will be relative. For medium screen, it will be fixed. For medium screen, top will be 0. For medium screen, left will be 0. Medium screen, right will be 0. Z index will be 50. Let's comment this as mobile menu. Let's create a button. But before that, let's create a state that is mobile menu open, comma, set is mobile menu open is equal to use state, give the value false. Now let's create a function const toggle menu, const toggle mobile menu. Let's create an arrow function here. Set is mobile menu open to not is mobile menu open. Let's give a button a class name, that is for medium screen it will be hidden, text white, focus, outline none. On click, toggle mobile menu. Let's terminate it and let's go to Chrome and type React icons. Go to the link below, copy this command and paste it in your terminal. It will install the React icons. Let's restart our server. Now let's type is mobile menu open ? FA times else show FA bars. Class name will be width 6, height 6. Let's copy the class name and paste it here. Now go to React icons and type FA times. Copy the first command and paste it here. Copy this FA bars and paste it in that command. Put a comma and paste it here. Now go to inspect and as you can see it's successfully here. Now let's go back to VS Code and now let's create center logo. H1 tag, class name will be text Excel. For Excel screen, text will be 4XL. For smaller screen, text will be 2XL. For medium screen, text will be XL. Font bold. Tracking white. Text white. Font will be Poppins. Flex, item center, cursor pointer, gap will be 2. Now type love fashion. FA hearts. Give a class name, text, red 300, animate, pulse. Let's close this. Now let's go back to Chrome. As you can see, it's here. Now let's create desktop menu. Let's create a UL tag, give a class name, hidden. For medium screen, it will be flex. For medium screen, space x3, space x6. For larger screen, space from x-axis will be 6. Will be not 6, it will be 8. For XL screen, space will be 10. Text will be white. Text base. For larger screen, text will be large. Font medium. Create a li tag, class name, hover. Text will be ping 200. Cursor pointer, text tracking, transition colors, duration 300. Let's terminate this and go back and search. Go to Chrome and search for React scroll. Open this link and copy this command and paste it in your terminal. It will install the React scroll. Now restart our server. Refresh it. As you can see this. Now type link. Let's import link. Import link from React scroll. Now give a active class, will be active to home. Spy is equal to true. Smooth is equal to true. Offset is equal to -70. Duration will be 500. Now give a name home. Now as you can see, home is present here. Now copy this link, this li tag, and paste it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Let's change it to season. 2 will be changed to season. Now then let's change it to products. It will be changed to product. Then it will be changed to collections. And 2 will be, copy this and paste it here. Make the C smaller. Let's copy this li tag and paste it here and change home to testimonial and copy this and paste it to 2 and change T to small. Nice. As you can see, it's all present here. All the menus are present here on Chrome. Now let's close the UL tag and create a div. Give class name flex. Space from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, space from x-axis will be 6. Item center, text will be white. Let's create search bar. Let's create div, class name, relative, position will be relative, hidden. For medium screen, block. Let's create an input. Placeholder, type will be text, placeholder search. Class name will be border white, BG transparent, padding from x-axis will be 4, padding from y-axis will be 2, rounded full, focus outline none, focus ring 2, focus ring white, placeholder white, width will be 32, for medium screen width will be 28, for larger screen width will be 40. Let's give a FA search, class name, position will be absolute, right 3, top 3, text will be white, cursor pointer. Let's close this, and as you can see, the icon and search is here. If we type anything, it shows. Let's create cart icons and a profile icon. Let's create div, class name will be flex, space from x-axis will be 3, for smaller screen space from x-axis will be 4, FA shopping cart, class name will be text LG, for smaller screen text will be Excel, cursor pointer. Now hover, text ping 200, transition colors, duration will be 300. Let's close this. Let's create FA user class name. Let's copy this class name and paste it here. Let's close this. Now as you can see, it's present here. Now let's close this nav and create a mobile menu. Is mobile menu open? And let's create the div. Let's give a class name. From medium screen it will be hidden, it will be fixed, top 16, left 0, right 0, BG gradient to R, from ping 300, from ping 500 to red 500, Z index will be 40, shadow MD, transition all, duration 300. Div class name, padding will be 4, div class name relative, padding relative, for margin bottom will be 4. Let's create input tag, text type will be text, placeholder search, class name with full border white. Wait, let's copy this line from here to here and paste it here. Now type FA search, class name, position will be absolute, right 3, top 3, text white, cursor pointer. Now close this div and create mobile menu. Let's create UL tag, class name will be flex call, space from y-axis will be 3, text white, font medium, text LG. Let's create li tag, class name will be hover, text ping 200, cursor pointer, transition colors, duration will be 300. Now let's type home, copy this li tag and paste it. Wait a second, Copy this li tag and paste it 4 times. Let's change this to seasons. Let's change this to products, this to collections, and then testimonials. Now let's check this for mobile view. It's responsive. Let's check this. As you can see, okay, the season has 2s. Yes, now as you can see, it's working fine. Now let's create another component that will be banner.jsx. Type RAFCE. Let's go to app.js and import banner. Let's go to index.css. Type HTML. Type scroll behavior smooth. Type dot container. Width will be 100%. Overflow from x-axis will be hidden. Let's close this and let's create banner. Type div, id will be home, class name will be with full, overflow hidden. Another div, class name, position will be absolute, insert 0, pointer event none, overflow hidden. Let's create array dot from. Let's type length 25 dot map. Let's give dash comma I. Create an arrow function. Create const icons is equal to fa heart comma fa star. These icons will be imported from React icons /fa. Type fa shopping bag. Type const icon is equal to icons dot icons square bracket math dot floor math dot random asterisk icons dot length. Let's type return icon. Let's create it. Type key, pass I, give class name absolute, text rate 400, opacity will be 50, animate float. Type style top backtick mat dot. Let's give dollar bracket mat dot random asterisk 100 percentage comma left backtick mat dot random into 100 percentage. Give comma, change, make the changes math. Let's copy math dot random. Type font size, this, paste it here, asterisk 2 plus 1 rem backtick comma animation duration, paste it here again, asterisk 4 plus 3 seconds comma animation delay, paste it here, and asterisk 2 seconds. Now let's close this icon and let's see on web page. As you can see, the icons are here in the background. Now let's create main content. Main content banner. Let's create div. Class name will be overflow hidden. Z index will be 10. Flex column. For medium screen, flex row. Item will be center. Justify between. Width will be full. BG gradient to B. For medium screen, BG gradient to BR. From pink 100 to rows 400. H will be auto. MD min height screen. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding will be 6. And for medium screen, padding from x-axis will be 16. Margin from y-axis will be 12. Padding from y-axis will be 12. And for medium screen, padding will be 8. Now as you can see, let's create div. Class name, position will be relative. Text center, max width 7 XL. MX auto, space from y-axis will be 10. Let's create heading. Type div. Class name, position will be relative. Margin from top will be 14. Group, width will be full. Text will be center. Let's create h1 tag. Give class name, text will be 5XL. For smaller screen, text will be 6XL. For medium screen, text will be 7XL. Font will be bold. Text transparent. BG clip text. BG gradient to R. From rows 700 to ping 600. Tracking tighter. Font will be Poppins. Transform. Group hover. Scale will be 105. Transition transform duration will be 500. Let's type redefine your style. As you can see, it's present here. Let's close this h1 tag and type div. Give a class name. Position will be absolute. Insert 0. BG gradient to R. From rows 700/30 to ping 600/30. Blur 2XL. Minus Z index will be 10. Opacity will be 50. Group hover. Opacity will be 70. Transition opacity. Duration will be 300. Let's create interactive CTA panel. Let's create div. Class name will be margin from top will be 16. BG gradient to BR. From pink 100 to rows 400. Rounded. Let's give a value of 4 REM. Padding will be 1. Shadow 2XL. Transform hover scale 105. Or let's give a value 1.005. Let's type transition transform. Duration will be 300. Group. Let's create another div. Class name BG white /90. Backdrop blur XL. Let's type rounded and let's give a value of 3.5 REM. padding will be 12. Let's create the paragraph tag. Type class name. Text will be 2XL. For medium screen, text will be 4XL. Font will be bold. Text rows 800. Margin from bottom will be 8. Let's type ready for a style revolution. Let's give a question mark. Let's create another div. Class name. Let's check it on Chrome. As you can see, it's present here. Let's give a class name flex call. For larger screen, text flex will be row. Item center, justify center, gap will be 6. Let's create button. Class name flex. Item center. Padding from x-axis will be 10. Padding from y-axis will be 5. BG rows 700. Text white. Rounded full. Shadow will be XL. Hover. BG rows 800. Transition all. Duration will be 300. Group / button. And let's enter a icon. FA shopping bag. Let's type class name. MR will be 4. Text XL. Group hover / button will be animate bounce. Let's close this and let's type a span. Let's type a class name will be text LG. Font will be semi bold. Tracking wide. Type shop now. Now let's go back, and as you can see this, a hover with an icon jumping. Now let's create div. Let's close the div here. Let's give a class name. ML4 width will be 2, height will be 2, BG white, rounded full. Opacity will be 0. Let's copy this group hover button and paste it here. Opacity 100. Another paste and type animate ping. Now let's create a span and let's give a class name hidden. For larger screen, block. Text will be white. Text will be 2XL. Margin from x-axis will be 4. Let's type as let's give it here and let's create button. Flex. Item center. Padding from x-axis will be 10. Padding from y-axis will be 5. BG white. Text rows 700. Rounded full. Shadow XL. Hover. BG rows 500. BG rows 50. Wait, BG rows 50. Transition all. Duration will be 300. Group hover. Group / button. And let's give a button. FAREG smile. Class name MR4. Text XL. Group hover. Button. Rotate 12. Transition transform. Let's close this icon and type a span tag. Class name text LG. Font semi bold. Tracking wide. Let's type style quiz. Let's go to Chrome and see this. The icon is rotating. Let's create another div and give a class name HTML4. Let's copy this and paste it here. Just change it to animate pulse and change BG to BG row 600. Opacity will be the same. Now as you can see, up on right side, up hover effect. Let's create div. Class name and margin from top will be 8. Flex, item center, justify center, space from x-axis will be 4. Text row 700. Let's give a icon FA shipping fast. Class name animate move x. Let's create a span tag. Give class name text SM. Font will be medium. Let's type free worldwide shipping. Let's type and bull semicolon 24/7 support. Let's copy this and paste it here. Let's type 100 days returns. Now our banner is complete. Now let's create animate stats grid. Let's create div class name. Margin from top will be 16. Grid calls 1 for smaller screen. Grid calls 2 for medium screen. Grid calls 2 for larger screen. Grid calls 4. Gap will be 4. Animate enter slide. Now let's close this and open GitHub. The link is given in the description. Go to SRC, go to components, go to banner, copy this dummy data and paste it here. Now add brackets, curly brackets to both. In this type .map function, pass stats comma index. Let's create a arrow function. Let's type div, pass key index, class name, padding will be 6, BG will be white /90, backdrop blur will be LG, rounded 2XL, shadow MD, hover, shadow LG, translate, transition all, duration will be 300. Let's type stat.icon, class name, text 3XL, text rows 600, margin bottom will be 4. Now as you can see, let's refresh this. FA ribbon is not defined. Let's define this. And now as you can see, the icons are present in the boxes. Let's create div. Class name will be 3XL. Font will be bold. Text rows 600. Margin from bottom will be 4. No, remove margin. Now type stat.value. Now let's create another div. Class name, text xm, text rows 700, font medium. Let's type stat.label. Now as you can see, it's present here. Now let's create another component. that is sc.jsx, right? Type RAFCE. Let's import sc to app component. Now let's create sc. Let's go to GitHub, go to sc, copy this dummy data and copy this and paste it here. Let's comment this line. Now let's come down and type const sc is equal to, let's create an arrow function, const, let's first export sc, export default sc. Let's type const show more, comma set show more is equal to use state false. Let's create return, type div, id will be season, class name, text center, padding from y-axis will be 12, bg gradient to br from ping 100 to rows 400, min height screen, position will be relative. Let's create floating hearts. Let's create div, class name, position will be absolute, insert 0, pointer event none. Let's create array dot from, length will be 20, dot map, let's pass empty and icon. Let's create an arrow function. Let's type fa hearts, key will be I, class name will be, position will be absolute, text will be red 400, opacity will be 50, animate float. We will type style, and from top it will be backtick $math.random, asterisk 100%, put a comma. Let's copy this math.random. Let's type left. Let's copy this and paste it here into 100%, put a comma, type font size, paste it here, put a asterisk 2 plus 1 rem, backtick, put a comma, animation duration, paste it here, asterisk 3 plus 2 seconds, put a comma. Now let's close this icon. Now as you can see, the background is ready. Now let's create index.css. Now uncomment this. Now change it to index.css. Now copy this animate float. Now type dot animate float, animation float, linear infinity, @ keyframes float, at 0 translate y-axis 0, scale will be 1, opacity will be 0.8. At 50% transform, let's copy these two lines and paste it here, and at 100% let's paste this here. At 50 change it to minus 20 pixel and scale will be 1.2. Let's change this to minus 40 pixel and scale will be 1. Let's change opacity to 1 and it will remain the same. Now as you can see, the icons are moving. Now let's create heading. Let's create div, class name. Let's change div to h2 tag. Class name will be text XL. For smaller screen, text will be 4XL. For medium screen, text will be 4XL. Text rows 600. Animate, fade in. Font will be cursive. Font will be extra bold. Margin from bottom will be 12. Uppercase, tracking wider. Let's give an icon, FA heart, class name, inline block, text red 500, margin from right will be 2. Let's close this, type season, collections. Let's type FA, let's copy this line and paste it here. Now as you can see, let's type collection grid. Let's create div, class name, max width 6XL, insert MX auto, padding from x-axis will be 4, grid calls 1, for smaller screen grid calls 3, for larger screen grid calls 3, gap will be 6, for smaller screen gap will be 8, and for larger screen gap will be 10. Let's first create a const display seasons, displayed seasons is equal to show more season data, else show season data dot slice 0,3. It will show only 3 at starting. Let's type displayed seasons dot map. Let's pass seasons comma index. Let's create an arrow function. Let's type div, pass key index. Class name will be backtick. Text will be center. BG pink 100. Padding will be 4. For smaller screen padding will be 6. For larger screen padding will be 8. Now rounded 3XL. Shadow will be XL. Transform, hover, scale 105. Transition all. Duration will be 300. Let's type $index. If index is greater than and equal to 3, then animate, slide in, else animate nothing. Then let's pass the image, season dot images 0. The index will be 0. Let's give alt season dot title. Class name, width will be full, height will be 56. For smaller screen height will be 64. For medium screen height will be 80. Object cover rounded 2XL. Shadow will be MD. transition all, duration will be 300, hovers shadow LG. Now as you can see, when we hover, a shadow is present and the images are here. Now let's create season title. Let's create div, class name, flex, item center, justify center, margin from top will be 4, space from x-axis will be 2. Let's type get season icons bracket season dot title. Let's create h3 tag. Let's pass class name. Text will be 2XL. For smaller screen text will be 3XL. For medium screen text will be 4XL. Font will be bold, uppercase, BG gradient 2 are from rows 500 via red 500 to ping 500. Translate text transparent, BG clip text, season dot title. Now go to Chrome, and now as you can see, now let's close this and type, let's create center toggle button. Let's create div, give class name flex, justify center, margin from top will be 8. Let's create a button, give class name flex, item center, justify center, padding from x-axis will be 8, padding from y-axis will be 3, BG rows 500, text white, rounded full, shadow LG, hover, BG rows 600, translate transition all, duration will be 300. On click, let's create an arrow function, set show more to previous, and let's create another arrow function and type not previous. If you click, as you can see a button, let's type a span, class name will be margin from right will be 3, text will be LG, show more, then show less, else show more. Let's pass icon and class name, backtick text 2XL, transform, transition transform, duration will be 300, type show more, show then rotate 180 degree, scale will be 125, else show scale will be 100. Let's close this, and now as you can see, show more, show less. Now let's see if it's responsive or not. It's responsive. Till now it's responsive. Yes. The scroll function is working fine. Now let's go to index.css and let's give some media screens. Min width will be 640 pixel and max width will be 767 pixel. Let's type app container, width will be 100%, max width will be 100%, margin will be 0, padding will be 0. Let's let's copy this line and paste it here. Let's change this to 768 pixel to 1023 pixel. Let's type app container. Let's type max width will be 100%, margin will be 0, and padding will be 0. Now let's paste it again and let's change this to 1024 pixel. Let's type app container. Max width will be 100%, margin will be 0, padding will be 0. Type image img and max width will be 100%, height will be auto. Now see, the image is not cutting. If we now, as you can see, the card is now like this. Now let's create another component, that is obs.jsx, type RAFCE. Now let's create this. Now let's import OBS to app component. Now let's create this. First go to Chrome and copy this from GitHub and Control A and paste it here. Let's change this to theme.css and change this to theme 2. Now let's go to OBS and type const OBS is equal to let's create an arrow function, return this. Let's export default OBS. Let's type div, class name, position will be relative, padding from y-axis will be 8, bg gradient to b from pink 100 to rows 400. Let's create floating hearts. Let's go to SC and let's copy this floating heart div and paste it here. Now let's create h2 tag. Let's type class name. Text will be 2XL. For smaller screen, text will be 5XL. For medium screen, text will be 4XL. Text center, animate, fade in. Type font will be cursive. Tracking wide. Font will be extra bold. Text row 700. Margin bottom will be 12. Uppercase. Let's give FA hearts. Class name will be inline block. Text red 500. MR2. Let's copy this line and let's type R best seller. Let's paste this and change. Let's refresh this and as you can see, it's here. Now let's create div. Class name width will be max width 6XL, MX auto. Padding from x-axis will be 4. Let's create div class name grid. Grid calls 1. For smaller screen, grid calls 2. For medium screen, grid calls 3. Gap will be 8. Let's type bestseller.map. Let's pass item. Let's create arrow function. Type div, pass key, item.id. Now let's type class name. Position will be relative. BG pink 100. Change it to 200. Padding will be 4. Rounded 2 XL. Shadow LG. Transition all. Hover. Shadow rows 500. Hover ring 2. Hover ring rows 300. Hover scale 105. Transform duration 300. Border rows 200. Let's create another div. Type class name with full, overflow hidden, rounded LG. Type img. Type item.image. In alt, type item.title. Give a class name. Width will be full. Object cover. Rounded LG. Shadow MD. Transition all. Duration will be 500. Height will be 48. For smaller screen, height will be 56. For medium screen, height will be 64. For larger screen, height will be 96. Now as you can see, the images are here. Let's create div. Class name, text center, margin top will be 4. Let's create h3 tag. Class name, text LG. For smaller screen, text will be XL. Font semi bold. Text rows 700. Let's pass item.title. Let's create a paragraph tag. Class name will be text gray 600. Text base. For smaller screen, text will be LG. Font will be medium. Let's pass item.price. Now as you can see, different text is and different price. Now let's create another component that will be banner2.jsx. Let's type RAFCE. Let's create banner. Type div. Class name will be bg gradient to r to br from pink 100 to rows 400. Padding from y-axis will be 12. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 6. For larger screen, padding from x will be 16. Flex column. For medium screen, flex will be row. Item center, justify between. Position will be relative. Now let's create another div. Give class name. Position will be absolute. Top 0. Left 0. Transform. Minus translate from x-axis will be 6. Minus translate from y-axis will be 6. Let's create FA hearts icon. Give class name text red 500. Text 3XL. Let's close this icon. Now let's copy this and paste it here. And let's change to top to right and left to bottom. Now wait. Let's create left side images. Let's create div. Class name will be flex. Gap will be 4. For medium screen, width will be 1/3. Justify end. position will be relative. Let's create image tag. Let's first import /component/theme.css, and let's import bl1 from /assets/bl1.png. Let's check. bl1 will be this image. Now let's copy this and paste it 3 times. Let's change bl2 from here to this. Let's change this to br1 and br2. br will be changed. Let's change here to br1 and br2. Some error. It will be br1. Now give here. Let's pass bl1. Let's give img tag. Let's create a class name. Width will be 24. Smaller screen width will be 32. For medium screen width will be 2/5. Rounded LG, transform, rotate. Let's give -5 degree. Transition, duration will be 300. Hover, scale 105. Let's copy this image and let's paste it here and change it to bl2. Wait, it is not imported in app component. Let's import banner 2, and now as you can see both the images are here. Now let's write the center text. Let's create div, class name text center. For medium screen width will be 1/3. Margin from y-axis will be 6. For medium screen, margin from y-axis will be 0. Let's create h2 tag, class name text 3xl. For smaller screen, text 4xl. For medium screen, text 5xl. Font will be extra bold. Text gray 800. Let's make it 900. Drop shadow MD. Let's type get 50% off. Now let's create paragraph tag. Give class name text gray 700. Text will be base. For smaller screen, text will be LG. Margin top will be 3. Leading relaxed. Let's type for all new products. Product purchases. Let's give a BR tag. Min full stop purchase rupees 350.00. Now let's check. As you can see, the heading and paragraph are here. Let's create button. Give class name. Margin from top will be 5. Padding from x-axis will be 6. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 8. Padding from y-axis will be 2. For smaller screen, padding from y-axis will be 3. Font semi-bold. BG gradient to R. From gray 600 to gray 800. Text white. Text base. For smaller screen, text will be LG. Rounded full. Hover from gray 700. Hover to black. Transition, duration 300. Shadow LG. Transform, hover, scale 105. Let's type shop now. Wait, let's make it capital. Shop now. Let's go to Chrome and see. Now it's working fine. Now let's create write images. Let's create div, give class name, flex, gap will be 4. Let's copy this whole div and paste it here. Let's change justify end to justify start, and alt image changes with the right images, change to br1 and br2. Now as you can see, now the banner is complete. Now let's create another component that will be op.jsx. Type RAFCE. Now go to app component and import OP. Now go to Chrome. Now as you can see this. Now go to OP and let's create OP. Go to GitHub and copy this dummy data and paste it here. This is the dummy data. Now let's type export default OP. Let's close this. Now let's type return. Let's create div id products, class name min h screen, bg gradient to b, from pink 100 to rows 400, position will be relative, overflow will be hidden, padding from y-axis will be 12, padding from x-axis will be 4. Let's create floating hearts. Let's pass heart.map, pass heart comma hearts will, and create a arrow function. Type fa heart, key will be heart.id, class name, position will be absolute, text will be ret 400, opacity will be 50, animate float. Let's give style, top will be heart.top, comma left will be heart.left, comma font size will be heart.size, comma animation duration will be heart.duration. Now let's close this icon. Now let's see, it's present here. Now let's create div, class name will be max 7 xl, mx auto. Let's create h2 tag, give class name text 2xl, for smaller screen text 5xl, for medium screen text 4xl, uppercase, tracking wide, text rows 700, font extra bold, font cursive, animate fade in, text will be center, margin bottom will be 10. Let's pass fa hearts, class name, inline block, text red 500, margin right will be 2. Let's copy this line and now let's type r products and paste it here. Let's change mr to ml. Now as you can see this. Now let's create tab navigation. Let's create div, class name flex, just flex wrap, justify center, gap will be 4, margin bottom will be 8, border B, padding from bottom will be 4. Pass categories dot map, it's pass category comma category. Let's create arrow function. Let's create button. Type class name will be backtick. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding will be 6. Text base padding from y-axis will be 2. For smaller screen, text will be LG. Font semi-bold. Transition border B 4. Let's pass this active tab. Active tab is equal to category. Then pass border black, text black, else show border transparent and text gray 500. Hover text black. Yes. Now pass category dot. Now pass category. On click, let's create an arrow function. Active set active tag category. Key will be category. Now as you can see, it's here. Now let's go back and create products grid. Create div, class name, grid. Grid calls 1. For smaller screen, grid calls 2. For medium screen, grid calls 3. For larger screen, grid calls 3. Gap will be 6. Let's give product active tab dot map. Let's pass product comma index. Let's create arrow function. Let's type div. Let's pass key index. Class name bg pink 200. Rotate rounded 2 XL. Overflow will be hidden. Transform transition all. Animate fade in up. Border will be 4. Border will be rows 300. Padding will be 4. Shadow will be MD. Hover shadow XL. Let's create image tag. Let's pass product dot image img. In alt, pass product dot name. Give a class name. Width will be full. Height will be 64. For smaller screen, height will be 72. For medium screen, height will be 80. And for larger screen, height will be 96. Object cover rounded T2XL. Transition opacity duration will be 75. Wait, make it 700. Hover opacity will be 90. Now let's check. Now as you can see, it's working fine. Now let's create another div. Give class name, text center, margin from top will be 4. Let's create h3 tag, class name, text XL. Smaller screen text 2XL. For medium screen text will be 2XL. Font will be bold. Text will be gray 700. Let's type product dot name. Now let's create paragraph tag. Let's type class name, text LG, text row 600, font semi-bold. Let's pass product dot price. Now as you can see, each having different title and different price. Let's create button add to cart. Now I'll give class name empty3 bg gradient to r from red 500 to pink 500. Text will be white. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 6. And from padding from y-axis will be 2. Rounded full. Hover scale 105. Transition shadow LG. Now, as you can see, the add to cart button is present here. Now it's completed. Now let's create another component, that is lib.jsx. Type snippet RAFCE. Now let's create lib. Now go to Chrome and copy this dummy data. Copy this and paste it here. Now type const lib and create an arrow function. Now export default lib. Let's type const show comma set show is equal to use state false. Now let's type use effect and let's create an arrow function. Const handle scroll is equal to an arrow function. Const element is equal to document dot get element by id ofc dash section. If element const rect is equal to element dot get bounding client React. If React dot top is less than window dot inner height into 0.8, then set show true. Now type window dot add event listener scroll comma handle scroll, return and arrow function window dot remove event listener scroll comma handle scroll. Now let's create return. Type div id collections, class name relative, bg gradient to r to br from pink 100 to rows 400. Overflow will be hidden. Let's copy this div floating hearts and paste it here. Let's change the value to 3 to 5 and 2 to 3 and add animation delay. So copy this mat.random and paste it here. Type asterisk 2 seconds and backtick. Now let's create div id ofc section. Class name will be backtick, position will be relative, padding from y axis will be 8, For smaller screen, padding from y-axis will be 12. For medium screen, padding from y-axis will be 16. Padding from x-axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 6. For larger, it will be 8. Max width 7XL. MX auto. Transition opacity. Duration will be 1000. Let's type $show, then opacity will be 100, else it will be opacity will be 0. Now type h2, class name text will be 2XL, for smaller screen text will be 4XL, for medium screen text will be 4XL, uppercase, animate fade in, font will be cursive, tracking wide, font will be bold, text will be center, text rate 600, margin bottom will be 6, for smaller screen margin bottom will be 10, FA heart, class name, inline block, text center, text rate 500, margin from right will be 2. Let's close this and let's copy this line and let's type love in bloom collections, and let's paste this here. Change MR to ML. It's not here. Let's go to app.jsx and import lib here. Now as you can see, it's present here. Now let's create div, class name grid. Grid calls 1, for smaller screen grid calls 2, for medium screen grid calls 2, for larger screen grid calls 3, gap will be 6, for smaller screen gap will be 8. Let's pass collection.map. Let's type item comma index and let's create an arrow function and let's type div, pass key index, class name will be backtick, position will be relative, rounded XL, shadow LG, overflow will be hidden, transform, transition all, duration will be 700. Let's type show. If show, then translate from y-axis will be 0 and opacity will be 100. Else translate y-axis will be 10 and opacity will be 0. Now type style and let's type transition delay, backtick, index asterisk 100 ms. Let's type image tag and pass item dot image and in alt type item dot title. Give class name to image tag, backtick, width will be full, over object will be cover, transition transform, duration will be 700, ease in and out. $show, then scale 100, else scale 90. Height will be 64, for smaller screen height will be 80, for medium screen height will be 96. Now as you can see, the images are here. Let's create gradient overlay. Let's create div. Let's close the div here. Let's pass class name. Let's type class name. Position will be absolute. Insert 0. bg gradient to t from black /80 via black /30 to transparent. Opacity will be 90. Now as you can see, a shadow effect type. Now let's create another div. Class name. Position will be absolute. Bottom 4, left 4, right 4. Text white. Flex. Justify between. Item center. Gap will be 2. Let's create another div. Class name will be flex. Item center. Gap will be 2. Let's pass item dot icon. Let's create a span tag. Class name will be text sm. For smaller screen, text will be LG. Font will be semi bold. Tracking wide. Truncate. Item dot title. Let's pass item dot title. As you can see, the icon and text are present here. Let's pass an icon fa arrow right. Class name will be text white. Text LG. For smaller screen, text will be Excel. Let's close this icon and now go back. As you can see, the icon is imported here also. So now let's create another component, that is wts.jsx. Let's type RAFCE snippet. Let's import WTS to app component. As you can see, the WTS component is imported. Now let's create WTS. Let's go to GitHub and go to WTS and copy this. Let's paste it here. Yes. Now let's type const WTS and let's create an arrow function. Type return. Type div. ID will be testimonial. Class name will be, position will be relative. Padding from y-axis will be 16. BG linear to B from pink 100 to rows 400. Text gray 900. Overflow will be hidden. Now let's copy it from, let's copy floating heart from OBS and paste it here. Now let's create h2 tag. Type class name. Text will be 2XL. For smaller screen, text will be 5XL. For medium screen, text will be 4XL. Text center. Font extra bold. Uppercase. Text rows 700. Margin bottom will be 12. Animate fade in. Font will be cursive. Tracking wide. Then pass an icon fa heart. Class name will be inline block. Text red 500. MR2. Let's close this. Let's copy this line and then let's type what they say, what they said. Let's paste this and let's change MR to ML. Now let's type div class name max width 7XL MX auto. Padding from X axis will be 4. For smaller screen, padding from X axis will be 6. For larger screen, padding from X axis will be 8. Position will be relative. Now let's go back here and as you can see what this says here. Let's close this. Let's wait. Let's type div class name will be grid. Grid calls 1. For smaller screen, grid calls 2. For larger screen, grid calls 3. For medium screen, grid calls 3. Gap will be 8. Let's type testimonial.map item comma index. Let's create an arrow function. Let's type div. Let's pass key as index. Class name will be bgping 100. Change it to 200. Shadow will be 2XL. Rounded 2XL. Padding will be 6. Transition will be all. Hover shadow rows 500. Hover ring 2. Hover ring rows 300. Hover scale 105. Transform duration will be 300. Border rows 200. Let's type another div and type class name will be full. Height will be 48. Smaller screen height will be 56. For medium screen height will be 60. Overflow will be hidden. Rounded LG. Let's create image tag and type item.image. In alt type item.title. Class name will be width full. Hover height will be full. Object cover. Object top. Rounded LG. Shadow will be MD. Transition all. Duration will be 300. No, make it 500. And now as you can see the images are here. Now let's create an h3 tag. Type class name. Class name will be text XL. For smaller screen text will be 2XL. For medium screen text will be 2XL. Font will be bold. Text rows 800. Make it 700. Margin top will be 4. Let's pass item.title. As you can see the title is here. Now create another div. Class name flex. Item center. Gap will be 1. Text yellow 400. Margin top 2. Let's pass array.from. Array bracket item.string .rating .fill .map. Let's pass empty comma index I. Let's create arrow function and pass fa star. Key will be I. Class name animate pulse and close this fa star. Now let's see this. Now as you can see the ratings are present here. Now let's create paragraph tag. Class name will be text gray 600, italic, margin top will be 2. Let's pass minus item dot name space minus. Let's create another paragraph tag. Class name will be text sm. For smaller screen, text will be base. Text gray 600. Margin top will be 3. Leading relaxed. Let's pass item dot review. Now as you can see, the name and the description are present here. It's completed. Now let's create footer.jsx. Wait, JSX. Type RAFCE and let's import footer in app component. Let's first type footer. Class name, position will be relative, overflow hidden, fonts serif, BG gradient to B, from pink 100 to red 2 rows 400. Text will be white. Padding from top will be 16. Padding from x-axis will be 6. For smaller screen, padding from x-axis will be 10. For larger screen, it will be 16. Let's go here and copy this and paste it to footer section. Now import slash dot dot slash components slash theme dot css. Now change the value to 2 to 3. Let's create another div. Class name will be, position will be relative, z index 10, max width 7 XL, mx auto, text center. Another div, class name will be grid calls 1. For smaller screen, grid calls 2. For medium screen, grid calls 2. For larger screen, grid calls 2. Gap will be 12. Margin bottom will be 12. Let's create brand section. Let's create div. Class name will be space, from y-axis will be 6. Let's create heading h3 tag. Class name will be text 3XL, font extra bold, text rows 800, flex, item center, justify center. Let's create a span tag. Give a class name, mr2, text 5XL, and let's type love fashion. No, paste it here and go to Chrome, type GitHub, open this, go to src, go to component, go to footer, copy this icon and paste it in spam, not fashion icon. Now refresh it. It says FA heart is not. Now import FA hearts from React icon /FA. Let's put it in brackets. Now as you can see, it's written here. Now create a paragraph tag. Give class name, text rows 800, text LG. Curating romantic styles for your special moments. Let's create div. Class name flex, justify center, space from x-axis will be 6, text will be 3xl. Let's create an anchor tag. Let's type FA Facebook icon. Let's give a class name to anchor tag. Text transition colors, duration will be 300, text will be blue 700. Let's copy this anchor tag and paste it 2 times. Let's change the icon to FA Instagram and change the color to red 700. Here change it to FA Twitter and change the value to 400. Now as you can see, the icons are here. Now let's create pics. Let's create div, give class name, space from y-axis will be 6, text will be LG, heading h4 tag, class name will be text 2xl, font bold, text rows 800, Valentine's pics. Let's create a nav class name. As you can see, Valentine is here. Class name will be flex call, space from y-axis will be 3. Now let's go to Chrome and copy this dummy data and paste it here. Type dot map. Let's pass link. Let's create an arrow function. Let's create an anchor tag with key will be link dot links. Href will be hashtag. Class name will be text transition colors. Duration will be 300. Text rows 800. Let's type links. Now as you can see, all the links are present here. Now let's copy this div and paste it here. Love and care here, and change it to love and care. Let's create nav. Class name will be flex call, space from y-axis will be 3. Now let's go and copy this here and paste it here. Type map. Let's copy this whole thing and paste it here. Now let's close a div. Now as you can see, it's also present here. Now let's create newsletter section, which will be, let's copy this div and h4 tag and paste it here. And let's type love letter. Let's create a paragraph tag. Type class name will be text rows 700. Get romantic updates and sweet offers. As you can see, the text is here. Now let's create form. Class name will be flex call, space from y-axis will be 4. Let's create input tag. Type will be email. Placeholder will be your email. class name will be padding will be 3, rounded full, bg pink 700, border pink 600, focus outline none. Focus will be border pink 300. Placeholder will be gray 200. Text LG. Transition colors duration will be 300. And let's give button. Let's type class name bg pink 500, hover bg pink 400. Transition colors duration will be 300. Text will be white. Padding from y-axis will be 3. Padding from x-axis will be 6. Rounded full. Font will be bold. Text will be LG. Let's type. The type of the button will be submit. Let's see. Let's copy this icon and let's paste it here and type send love. As you can see, it's working fine. Now let's create the divider. The divider section, let's create a div. Let's give it a class name. Position will be relative. Border will be border T. Border pink 700. Padding from y-axis will be 8. Create a div. Position will be absolute. Top will be 0. Left will be 1/2. Transform. Minus translate x-axis to 1. 1/2. Let's copy this and let's paste it here and let's change to y. bg pink 900. Padding from x-axis will be 6. Padding from y-axis will be 2. Rounded full. Let's create an span tag. Give class name. Text will be 3XL. Let's copy this icon and paste it here. Now let's close all things, and as you can see, the divider is present here. Now after that, let's create a paragraph tag. Class name will be text black. Text will be LG, and copy new date dot get full year love fashion made in India. Let's create a div. Class name will be margin top will be 4. Flex wrap justify center space X will be 2. For smaller screen, space from X axis will be 3. For larger, it will be 4. Text SM. For small screen, text will be base. For medium screen, text will be LG. For larger screen, text will be XL. As you can see this. And now we will create the hashtag Valentine. Let's double quote this and Valentine style, comma hashtag fashion love dot map. Let's pass tag and create a arrow function. Let's type span tag. Class name will be text black. Key will be tag. Tag will be pass. And now as you can see, both the tags have been passed here. Let's create a BR tag and then create a paragraph tag. Class name will be text center, cursor pointer, text base, text black, text will be 2XL, hover text will be purple 400. Let's type hexagon digital services hashtag. Now as you can see, it's present here. So now the full site is fully completed. As you can see, the scroll function is working fine. The see more and see less is working fine. Now our product is working fine. This all thing is done. Now as you can see, it's fully responsive. Let's do this smaller. Now as you can see, it's fully responsive. So stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching.